today I'm going to be telling you guys some of the reasons why I make no contact with my toxic family members. I'll give you guys some of the reasons. So, I like to tell my story because it's healing for me, and it's also very healing for me too because people put out false narratives about me. So I like to clear the air a little bit because, I'm a private person and I'm an introvert. So that's why people feel like, they can control the narrative. So sometimes I gotta come and I have to clear the air a little bit. But okay, my family, most people from my family, those people were bullying me most of my life. They were talking about my dark skin. They would call my hair nappy. They always had something to say about me. They always tried to belittle me. They always made me the butt of their jokes. Like, these people have been beefing with me since I was a child. These people have been negative towards me since I was a child. But it was confusing to me because it was like, this is my family, I love these people. So, I overlooked the red flags. And at one point, I would just like combat toxicity with toxicity sometimes, in order to survive in these environments. But at one point I realized I'm like better for myself and I had to start leaving people behind and I had to start leaving these environments behind. But yeah, like most of my family, they're very colorist and they were always talking about me being dark skinned. Like most of my life, I thought I was dark skinned because of them and other people. I only found out as growing up that I'm actually brown skinned because of them. But I love my brown skin. I just tried to do a quick weave. It was like an epic fail. I got glue stuck to my hair and everything. But most of my family, the women in my family, most of them are big bone. Most of them are big, like they're thick, right? And on like my dad's side of the family, though they're very thick. Like we might have like Hawaiian within us, we might have Samoan within us because they're that big. Like I have obese line. Like my mom was like 400 pounds. Like yeah. So me and my younger cousin, we were the only maybe the only skinny ones in our family. And I took a lot of heat at the hands of my family because they would bully me because of me being dark skinned, because me having 4C hair texture. But then they would also bully me for being skinny. And they created like insecurities within me when I was younger. I used to like gain weight because of them. They used to call me like skinny bone Jones and stuff like that. And, people who talk the most stuff about you and criticize you, they actually admire you the most because the same family members that was bullying me for my weight are the same people who trying to get weight loss surgery and stuff like that. So this way you can't take haters super serious. Those people really admire you and they hate the fact that they admire you, so they try to take you and put you down. So yeah, that's why I stopped talking to those people because they were always very negative. I mean, there were times where they were positive towards me, but I feel like the good that they did for me couldn't outweigh the negative that they did for me. It was like this dynamic where people were like doing good to me only if I allowed them to disrespect me, or only if I allowed them to traumatize me or allow me to suffer in some type of way. Then they will do good to me. And I don't like dynamics like that because you should treat me right from the get-go. You shouldn't have to mistreat me in order. Like I shouldn't have to go through mistreatment in order to receive proper treatment. I shouldn't have to be disrespected in order to receive proper treatment. But yeah, like even like my mom, because my siblings, they're biracial, they're German and black, and yeah, I'm a monoracial black woman, and they're biracial. So like my siblings, like they developed this type of mentality when they were younger. They were always saying like, oh, I'm not black, and I had to teach them because very like I love you black, People try to make it seem like being pro-black means you have to be anti-everybody else. No, being pro-black means knowing your history to me, and it means, advocating for yourself and, your community when need be. That's what I feel like it means. Being pro-black just means loving yourself and knowing your history, and, that's what I feel like it means. And combating certain things you may face in the system because of your genetics. That's what I feel like being pro-black is. But yeah, I'm a pro-black, monoracial woman, and if I date outside my community, that doesn't mean I'm not pro-black either. But like, my siblings, they would be talking about my hair, saying that I have nappy hair, and they'll be saying things like they're not black. Like, I was always the butt of the joke for these people. It was always putting me down and disempowering me when it came to these people. It was always a power trip with these people, and it was always a control thing, and that's why I got the people in my life. In order to get them in my life, I had to leave everything behind and build from scratch. But I would have rather done that than to stay in connection with those people just because of how much they mistreated me. Like, the people never wanted me to be happy, and they never wanted me to be confident. But like, also, like, my mom was like a huge control freak when it came to, we have good moments, but we also have bad moments, and I feel like the bad moments outweigh the good. But like, it's like always had me watching her kids. She always had me run her errands. She would wake me up every day at 7 a.m. to run her errands for her, to take care of whatever she couldn't take care of. She would wake me out of my sleep, but she had no boundaries when it came to me. She consistently overstepped my boundaries. She did not care about me. She didn't care about my time. She didn't see me as an individual in my opinion. She just seen me as something to use to fill up the gaps of her spaces. She always had me watching my siblings, helping them with their homework. I was taking them to and from school sometimes, getting them ready for school. Sometimes these kids I feel like almost call me mom too, and it was a very unhealthy dynamic because at one point I seen them as like my children. It was very unhealthy. I was always watching their kids. I was their babysitter. But my mom always like overstepped my boundaries. She would be spreading my business to the family. She would be gossiping about me to the family. Who else? And she would do things like when I would be in the bathroom taking a shower, my mom would open the door and just come in the bathroom and like invade my privacy. And when I would like try to speak up for myself, my mom would be like, "Well, I'm your mom," or it's not like I didn't see that or something like that. Like she always overstepped my boundaries. She never respected me. That lady does not respect me. And yeah, like I'll either I'm in the room and I'm changing, and she just open the door and come into the room while I'm changing. Like it was like always overstep with my boundaries and an invasion of privacy. But yeah, those are some reasons why I don't deal with those people.